Hey, welcome back to Morning Joe. Let's go to Washington, D.C. and talk to Time Magazine's Joe Klein. Joe, great to talk to you. We haven't talked in a while.
Nice to see you, Joe.
Well, I've been out reporting, you know.
Any new music you're listening to, or any old music you're listening to?
Well, I am really getting ready for the Austin City Limits Festival, which I'm going to join McKinnon for that one in September. It has a great lineup: My Morning Jacket, Fleet Foxes, Arcade Fire, and also some rappers. Nas is going to be there, Kanye West. I love that festival.
Mark McKinnon, at least the first three groups that he mentioned, I'm big fans of. Can we stay at your place? Can we just kind of crash on the couch?
Wide open. We got the bunks ready.
Okay, very good.
Futons.
He has this place in the middle of the festival underneath these trees. It was very convenient last time when it was raining, but he kind of sits back there like a pasha running the whole thing.
That's true. So, does he really?
I've seen it. It's incredible.
So McKinnon, when is this?
September. When
September
it's only
15th to
104.
18th.
September when?
15th to 18th. It's going to be part of my next road trip.
Okay.
I'm going to go from Laredo to the Saudi Arabia of America, North Dakota, next September.
North Dakota.
Tell about Rodney Crowell's album.
I'm going to North
Listen,
Dakota.
I want to see what a booming economy looks like.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, Mark McKinnon, we're going to be down there then September 15th through the 18th. That sounds like a lot of fun. Let's talk about the cover of Time Magazine. It's called Barackatology. It's the breaking down of the Republican field. Today, John Huntsman throws his hat into the ring. What's your take on him, Joe Klein, and what's your take on the field in general?
Well, first on Huntsman, it's really interesting. As Brother Heilman was saying before, he has McCain's staff, and he's trying to do McCain's strategy, but he's the exact opposite candidate from McCain. McCain had opinions and positions on almost everything. Huntsman has opinions and positions on almost nothing, at least that he's been willing to say so far. On the other hand, on a lot of occasions, McCain's knowledge was kind of an inch deep. But up in New Hampshire last week, I had a long talk with Huntsman about China, and the guy really knows his stuff about what may be the most important economic and foreign policy issue out there for us.
It's interesting, Joe Klein. He does not sound like he's an ideologue, and yet everybody that comes across him, I tell you, Mark Halperin was very skeptical. Derisive off camera, and then he went to meet him and saw him campaign, was really blown away by his working knowledge. It's an interesting, it's a new kind of candidate, whether positive or negative.
Well, I don't know that I was blown away by his political performance, but the guy is substantive. He's real. It's a real test for that party. You know, he kind of reminds me of those Democratic candidates like Bruce Babbitt, who were really, well-informed and high-minded and finished with 5% of the vote.
Well, so we've now had John Heilman. Two references to Bruce Babbitt. The Bruce Babbitt of 2012.
Bruce Babbitt would have been the Morning Joe candidate.
There's no doubt about it. And Paul Tsongas as well. We would have loved it.
So, Joe Klein, you're absolutely right that there's big differences between McCain and Huntsman, and one of the biggest, it seems to me, is that Huntsman's planning to run in a very strong way on getting out quick from Afghanistan, which, of course, is very opposite to the way McCain looked at matters of war and peace. So what do you think the market is, the political market in the Republican Party right now for a candidate who is an anti-war, anti-war candidate?
Well, it's a lot better than it was, and it may be the only position you can take against Obama in 2012. It's really interesting. Obama may run to all of these guys right on these things. My sense, I've been doing a lot of digging into what the president's going to announce on Wednesday, and the focus has been on how many troops he's going to bring out in 2011. That's not important. Everybody was going to give, Petraeus another fighting season there. And by the way, I should define it for the viewers. A fighting season in Afghanistan begins when the poppy crop is harvested and ends when the marijuana crop needs to be harvested.
Keep getting back to this.
Wow.
No, but it's true. It's true. I was there late last November, early December, and the marijuana was drying on those flat mud rooftops all over the country. But in any case, I think that the major decision that Obama has to make is whether he's going to bring the troops home, a lot of troops home, in 2012. The military doesn't want him to. The Democrats want him to. He may well, the best political position for him to take may be to have a delayed withdrawal, delay it into 2013, so he could run as the foreign policy candidate of strength in 2012 and take that issue off the table. Substantively, of course, I disagree with that entirely. I think we should bring back as many troops as possible, get it down to 20 or 25,000 troops who could continue doing the special operations, drone attacks, and training the Afghan army.
Wow. Mark McKinnon, I wonder, though, in terms of the candidates that we're looking at for the Republican field, if Huntsman, if he turns out to be what he appears to be, could be the answer to Obama, could be the real candidate that could take on the president, as opposed to the others who may be more specific for the party. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and he's being, he's staking a very affirmative position on Afghanistan. Which gives him some territory that no Republicans have really taken. Mm-hmm. The other thing that he has that Obama did and Bush did early on too is he's optimistic. He's got a very sunny disposition, and to the earlier guest's point, he's got a great job story. In fact, when he was governor of Utah, I think it was the greatest jobs generator in the country in Utah when he was governor. So it's a great package, and he's got that kind of Obama appeal that I think will appeal cross-generationally to younger voters as well. So he'll get younger voters. He's got a good message for Hispanics, and he's got an interesting message and a good message for the social conservatives as well. So it's a great blend.
Jose, what's your take on Barackatology and the Republican breakdown of the field?
Well, look, I think that it's going to be very tough to beat Barack Obama in a lot of ways, but I also think that he is beatable because he doesn't have, among some people in our community, the credibility he did in 2008, because words matter. And the issue on the military and coming back or not from Afghanistan, a lot of people in all communities, I think, have to be concerned about mission creep, about Libya, about are we going into, I don't know, Syria if things get really ugly. That's an issue that people worry about.